Okay, back at Oxy College, and for really one of the premier events of the evening, the men's 1500 meters. It features no less an Olympic champion in Matthew Centrowitz, 33 years old. He's on his way back. There's Craig Engels, another legend in the sport. Best of 3:33.64 in this event. To his right there, you see Henry Wynne, a guy that could win this race. Young man, 3:34.08, and coming off a very fine finish at the USATF Championships, fifth place. He was fifth in the 2021 Olympic trials. There you see Matthew Centrowitz, fourth on the all-time U.S. list at 1500, sixth on the all-time U.S. list in the mile. You see Austen DALQUIST, Dillon MAGGARD, another one of those guys that can run anything from 1,500 to 10,000. In fact, he ran a 1,500, 10,000 double at the U.S. Olympic trials last year. He's quite an athlete, and he was sixth at the USATF cross-country meet earlier this year. So, and he ran a lifetime best of 3:37.17 in the 1,500 in Gresham earlier. Drew Hunter is another guy that could do some damage here. He's running very well. Who do you like, Will?
I like all these guys on a personal level. And one of the things I think is fun is as we were watching them sort of get ready to line up on the line, you know, the high fives and the hugs, it's like it's a real camaraderie out there in this event. I got to be looking at Eric Holt, the Bolt. The guy's coming off of some big wins up in Canada the last couple of weeks with a real chip on his shoulder after USA is coming so close to qualifying for his first World Championship team. But you can never count out Matthew Centrowitz. The guy is just the savviest racer. He knows that he didn't run to his potential in the U.S. final. And you just got a lot of guys, I think, they're looking to qualify or to hit some times right now that will help for their qualification for the Olympic cycle going into next year. But again, it's sort of like that women's 800. We have so many guys who are so close, they can't all occupy the same space at the same time. So I'm very curious to see, as I commented earlier, I don't see Amos BARTELSMEYER on the start line, so we only have Grant Grosvenor. Curious to see who jumps up early and takes the pace, because you have guys like Josh Thompson who can finish with like a bat out of hell. Festus LAGAT, who's won this event numerous times in the past with the 1,500 meters at the Sound Running meets, coming off of a great Kenyan trials where he ran 1:44 in the 800, narrowly missing that team. But again, Johnny the Jet GREGOREK, one of the all-time greats, a sub 350 mile to his name, and the mustache and mullet of Craig Engels. It's flowing, it's beautiful, it's powerful, and it's, hoping to propel him to a great race tonight.
So Festus LAGAT is a 1:44.31 800 guy. He ran that in 2022, 1:44.98 at Drake Stadium in LA at the USATF meet. You mentioned Eric Holt. He won in New York at the Grand Prix, the USATF Grand Prix meet there very impressively. And Grosvenor, the former Oregon runner, goes out very fast in the lead here, trying to draw people to go with him. And then you see Holt leading that group of quote-unquote serious runners there with the number 3. And certainly the figure in yellow there on the far left, that is Henry Wynne, somebody we should pay very close attention to, who also has good finishing speed.
Yeah, to put it lightly, Henry Wynne is useful. But you've got Eric Holt coming off of a fresh 800-meter personal best in Canada last week, looking to capitalize, knowing he's fit, trying to inch this group back up towards the Pacers. They have their second pacemaker, who did a great job of acknowledging that there was a gap between himself and the rest of the field, sort of slowing down, putting Eric Holt in his slipstream, dragging him back up to Grant Grosvenor. With Dillon MAGGARD, as you said, the guy that can do anything. I was surprised to not see him in the steeplechase earlier today. Pulling this field along. So we've got some Brooks Beasts and Johnny GREGOREK with Drew Hunter. And where is the rest of this field? Where is Matt Centrowitz? Where is Craig Engels? They're sort of methodically moving themselves up through this pack, a pace that was not extraordinarily fast from the gun for a lot of these guys, but it will do the job. They came through in about 42 seconds, that first 300. Their second lap here, we're waiting on splits for just 1 second, but if anything, the pace has not slowed down. It's picked up a little bit.
So they're running about 56-second pace, which will work, and that's Holt and MAGGARD and Johnny GREGOREK, and right up there as well, GREGOREK in the gray, Henry Wynne behind him, Drew Hunter behind him. That was a 58-second lap. So now they're running about, 3:49 pace, but we'll see how that plays out. And now this is a real race. When they come up to the common start finish line, we will have 1 lap to go. Henry Wynne moving up. Now it is Holt, Maggard, Wynne, GREGOREK, Festus LAGAT moving up, and then it is Drew Hunter. Centrowitz back, Craig Engels back.
We're going to need to see something special over the last 350 meters of this race. And as we saw in the last one, fireworks can happen down the backstretch of any of these tracks lately with how good these runners are. As you see Holt the Bolt charging hard on the backstretch with Henry Wynne lurking. Henry Wynne is sitting there waiting to bide his time. And here he goes wide. Henry Bolt is playing his cards.
So it is Holt and Wynne. Dillon MAGGARD surprisingly still up there. Here comes Johnny GREGOREK in the gray. LAGAT moving backwards. Drew Hunter coming up. That's Centrowitz in the light blue and dark blue. But as they come into the straight, it is Holt and Wynne and GREGOREK. And now LAGAT is trying to make a move on the outside. Here comes LAGAT. We thought he was dead, but it's not going to be him. It's going to be Holt at the line. And GREGOREK second. I believe Eric Holt got a monster PR there. Eric Holt, 3:34.50. Massive PR by over a second. Henry Wynne second in 3:34.55, just off his PR. LAGAT, who I said was left for dead, 3:35.15. Johnny GREGOREK, a nice 3:35.28. And Drew Hunter, 3:35.89 as 5 break 3:36. Matt Centrowitz in 9th, Craig Engels in 7th.
Look at this race. I mean, you got Holt, who's been very much in control, very much controlling this race. That's Centrowitz-esque. I know I'm running hard, but I'm doing everything that I have to. I'm protecting the rail. I am not going to let this guy pass me. And he made Henry Wynne do all that hard work, run all those extra yards, and barely held on through the line. But my gosh, what an incredibly inspired performance from Eric Holt, the Bolt of the Empire Elite Track Club. And Tom, you called it. That was a hard-charging Festus LAGAT in lane 3, beyond the lane of high hopes, as they would have called it, and once a runner, narrowly passing Johnny GREGOREK. But goodness, what a race.
So my question for you is, so Holt had a great season leading up to USATF, then kind of laid an egg, and now he's had a great season on the other half, on the other side. He was 4th at the USATF meet in 2022. What happened this year?
It's how do you handle the stress, Tom? There's no really other way to put it. When you come into these meets where the stakes are not as high, you don't need to have ice run through your veins like Matt Centrowitz has. I mean, there's no cooler competitor than Matt Centro, and we're not seeing him at his best right now, but still to see Centro running 3:36 in this race, being competitive, mixing it up with the best guys in the U.S. right now, you can't count him out for next year's. But that's really all it comes down to. It comes down to tactics. How do you execute that first round? How well do you recover between races? And how well do you come into the final saying, that took nothing out of me? I'm the best absolute version of myself. I'm going to execute a race tactically perfect, because that's what it takes to make the team now.
Okay. And Holt the Bolt is with Chris Nickinson. Take it away, Chris.
All right, we're here with the very happy Eric Holt. He just took a little over a second off his PB and got the win tonight. Eric, we had to chase you down the track. Fans are loving you. How are you loving it?
Oh, man, I mean, the support is so awesome. Only about a couple years ago, I worked full-time in a psych ward, and I quit my job. Actually, only a year ago, I quit my job. And I told my dad, I'm going to be something of a runner. I'm going to be fast, and you'll see, I'll rise to the top, because I'm going to give it everything I got to be the best runner I can be. And I just want to help inspire people. I'm not sponsored, but I do this for the love of the sport. I do this because I believe I can be great, and I believe big things will happen with me. And I'll do whatever it takes. I'll always grind. I'll work as hard as I can be and believe in my coaches, my parents, my friends, and everyone who supports me.
All right, well, that's Eric Holt, our Under Armour sound running men's 1,500 meter champion. What's next for you this season?
Oh, I got the Guardian Mile next week. I hope to win that.
All right, Eric, congratulations. Back to you, Tom.
Thank you, Chris. A popular winner, Eric Holt. And we catch our breath. We move now to the